Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be taking it back, way back. And we're going to be talking about the great-grandpappy of the modern firearm.
Oh, way down south in the land of traders, rattlesnakes and alligators. Right away, come away, right away, come away. Where cotton is king and we are chattels, Union boys will win the battles. Right away, come away, right away, come away. We'll all go down to Dixie, away, away. Each Dixie boy must understand that.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. You caught me just in time. I'm actually headed home after a successful raid on British forces. Oh my god, is that a redcoat? Think I got him. This is my black powder muzzle loader rifle. It does indeed have rifling in the barrel, and just a genuine pleasure to shoot, really. Now, it's probably worth noting, both for legal reasons and for YouTube reasons, this is not a firearm. This is a black powder muzzle loader. Under federal law, this isn't a gun. I don't know why, but I'm not going to complain. The black powder muzzle loader is pretty much the first thing we have that looks and acts like the firearms we know and love today. Now, when I tell you that this is a black powder muzzle-loaded rifle, for many of you, your first thought may be of the iconic flintlock rifle system. But that's actually not where the story starts. I love this thing. The first practical firearms used the matchlock system. Now, the matchlock system is, in essence, sticking a rope down the back of your barrel, lighting it on fire, and praying that it sets off your gunpowder. The system was ingenious for its time, but wet weather could really screw you over. I mean, if it was a slightly damp morning or if it was raining, I mean, you got a really nice walking stick because the wet rope doesn't really burn. Squirrel! Well, if I hit it, it's fucking dead. The next evolution is the legendary flintlock. Now, while technically the wheel lock predates it, it wasn't quite as common, wasn't as well known, so we're going to skip over that for now. Now, instead of lighting a rope on fire and praying it goes well, the flintlock uses a small piece of flint to strike steel, which ignites a small priming charge. This, in turn, ignites the main charge, gun, go boom. Commie bastards! This new evolution of the firearm was cleaner, faster, and way more resistant to a rainy day. Now, I want to address a pretty common misconception. There is indeed a difference between a smoothbore and a rifle. The smoothbore is essentially what it sounds like. It's a smooth barrel, which is all fine and dandy, except that a couple feet out of the barrel, your projectile is going to start wobbling around and be incredibly inaccurate. Rifling, on the other hand, is a series of spiral grooves inside the barrel, which impart a spin on your projectile and make it way more accurate. While rifles were more accurate than smoothbores, they were also more expensive, harder to manufacture, and took longer to reload, so they weren't very practical for large armies. This basically made smoothbore muskets the weapon of war for a really long time. If you've ever asked yourself, why did the armies of old march in tight columns, form ranks, and fire in volleys? Well, it's because when your gun isn't accurate, if you put a lot of lead in that direction, chances are something's probably going to hit. That being said, private citizens such as frontiersmen or huntsmen did actually own personal rifles. This is primarily because if the deciding factor for whether or not you're eating dinner tonight is whether or not you can hit that deer, accuracy becomes pretty important. Small militia units and early sharpshooters used these long-rifled guns to great effect, picking off officers, disrupting the enemy, and just generally trying to cause as many mind-blowing experiences for enemy combatants as possible. Now this beauty right here shoots a .50 caliber lead ball. It's this thing right here. Now in the modern firearms cartridge world, you hear the term full metal jacket thrown around quite a lot. Now, if you weren't aware, what this means is there's a leaden core and around it is a jacket of metal. The reason they do that is so that if the bullet hits somebody, when it hits somebody, whatever, it kind of goes straight through, right? It creates a relatively small wound. It's not going to flower out, not going to cause massive damage. Now, the .50 caliber lead ball does not do that. I don't know if you were aware, lead's really soft. When a lead ball hits the human body going Mach Jesus, it's not pretty. It kind of squishes out and it causes a massive amount of damage. The kind of metaphor that I heard was when a bullet hits, say, your bone, it breaks the bone. When a musket ball hits your bone, you're losing your arm, right? These things cause a lot of damage. Finally, we come to the last evolution of the muzzle loader, the cap lock. Similarly to the flintlock, it does have a hammer, but instead of using that flint to strike a spark, it uses little caps. Now these caps are not dissimilar to what you might find in a cap gun. Basically, you put the cap on, the cap goes bang when the hammer comes down, and the gun goes boom. It's a happy day all around. This innovation meant that wet weather was no longer a liability. You could trust your gun to go off no matter the weather. Now, while it may not be as sexy as the legendary flintlock, it was incredibly effective and way more reliable. So yeah, muskets ruled the battlefield because logistics beats precision. That is, until manufacturing and technology caught up and gave us the firearms we know and love today. And that, my friends, just about wraps this up. My very first YouTube video. If you enjoyed it, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Stay safe, and remember, don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. He looked white.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. All the men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all feel gay. When Johnny comes marching home, and we'll all feel